The house had been quiet for too long. For 47 years, the small yellow house at the end of Willow Street had been full of life. Laughter echoed through its narrow hallway. The smell of Sunday soup filled the kitchen, and a soft hum of humming filled the evenings. Now it held only silence. Every morning, 72-year-old Harold Bennett woke at exactly 6 o'clock, not because he needed to, but because he always had. His body remembered the rhythm of a life that no longer existed. He shuffled into the kitchen, made 1 cup of coffee instead of 2, and sat at the table where his wife, Eleanor, used to sit across from him. The chair stayed there. He had never moved it. Outside the window, the maple tree Eleanor had planted swayed gently in the morning breeze. Harold stared at it every day. Since Eleanor passed 2 years ago, the world had slowly shrunk. Friends called less often. Neighbors waved but rarely stopped this. Children lived far away with busy lives. And Harold, once a man who fixed everything, cars, fences, broken sinks, even broken hearts could not fix the emptiness, so he walked every afternoon. He took the same slow walk through the park 3 blocks away. It was quiet, shaded, and mostly empty except for the occasional jogger or young mother pushing a stroller. He liked it that way. On a Grader's Day afternoon in October, something different happened. As Harold passed the old oak bench near the pond, he heard a soft sound. A whimper. He stopped. At first, he thought he imagined it. But then he heard it again small, frightened, almost apologetic. Harold looked around. There, beneath the bench, curled tightly against the cold concrete, was a dog. A scruffy brown mutt with matted fur and tired eyes. The dog watched him carefully, ribs visible beneath its coat. 1 ear drooped awkwardly, and its tail barely moved. Harold crouched slowly, his knees cracking. Well, now, he murmured, "What are you doing all alone?" The dog didn't run. That surprised him. Stray dogs usually bolted the moment someone got too close. But this one simply stared at him, cautious but too exhausted to move. Harold reached into his coat pocket and pulled out half of the sandwich he had saved for later. "Don't tell my doctor," he said softly. "But I think you need this more than I do." He placed the sandwich on the ground and backed away a little. The dog hesitated, then, slowly, it crawled forward and ate. Harold watched quietly. Something stirred inside him, something he hadn't felt in a long time. Concern. After a moment, he said, "You got a name?" The dog looked up while Harold sighed, pushing himself back to his feet. "Until someone claims you, I suppose you'll need one." He studied the dog for a moment. "How about Charlie?" The dog tilted its head. "Charlie, it is." Harold started to walk away. After a few steps, he heard soft paws behind him. He turned. Charlie stood a few feet back. "Unsure, you coming?" Harold asked. Charlie took another step, and just like that, Harold was no longer walking alone. Life didn't change overnight, but slowly, quietly, it began to shift. Charlie slept by the front door that first night, refusing the old blanket Harold offered. By the 3rd night, he had moved to the rug beside Harold's chair. By the 2nd week, he had claimed the couch. Harold pretended to complain. "You're getting spoiled," he muttered. Charlie wagged his tail. Morning walks became longer. Harold found himself talking again, telling Charlie stories about Eleanor, about the old days, about the children when they were small. Charlie listened to every word. Neighbors began to notice. "Nice dog," one said. "Rescued him," Harold replied. But the truth was more complicated, some. Nights, Harold would sit in the living room while Charlie rested his head on Harold's foot. And for the first time in years, the silence didn't feel so heavy because it wasn't empty anymore. It was shared. One evening, Harold sat on the porch watching the sunset while Charlie lay beside him. "You know something?" Harold said quietly. Charlie lifted his head. "I think we saved each other." Charlie thumped his tail against the wooden floor. The maple tree rustled softly in the evening wind, and inside the little yellow house, life gentle, imperfect, and unexpected had begun again.